Is it me or are we in hell? No? Oh, apparently we're just in Cliff Street in Ndase because while this city masquerades as Africa's success story with kombuchas, mountains lit up, and my city buses, there's an awkwardness bubbling underneath. Because when you look at the city bowls, cranes are up, towers are climbing into the sky, but as you travel further north, those cranes disappear. So do the opportunities, the jobs, the money, and absolutely the land. While all of this is what sets us up for this conversation with Bonang Libuke, a photographer who will help us understand the creative landscape in Cape Town, but also give us some more insight on her own personal journey. So let's start off with you, Bonang. How the hell did you even get here? And just give us some insight, a little bit on your story, what motivated you, and what first lit that passion?
Well, surprise, surprise, it is my ninth grade teacher.
Yeah.
I had a ninth grade math teacher who would do everything but teach us maths. Kurt Minar, he was a creative when he wasn't teaching. So during class, he would give us all these stories about his creative life that happens out of the classroom. And when the year ended in ninth grade, I had a best friend then. We wrote down a list. We're like, what do we want to do once high school is over? And we noted down photography, videography, and then next year in 10th grade, my math teacher, another math teacher, happened to be a photographer, and she would let me play with her cameras, and I guess the rest is history.
Yeah. I like to say the rest is future, but yes.
I love.
Yes. Yeah, I'm so, with that, being able to be nurtured also by people who are on the less creative side, I think that's quite an interesting dynamic. When did you also then realize, okay, there is the interest, but that this truly is a gift of yours and something that you want to pursue further?
COVID happened and there was nothing else to do. It was my first year in 2020 and I used some money to buy my cameras, and then the world closed and I had to zone into really what am I passionate about. I actually call 2020 my debut year because I mean that's how we publish things on the internet, and then I published my debut photography stills on the internet, and then I think that's when I really started realizing, oh, I can actually do this,
That's really dope. That's really dope. And within your creative journeys, what are some of those, projects that you've worked on that really, really are close to your heart, and things that you feel show what, this work means to you?
I did a shoot with an author called Thandi Wenqanda on her book. I think
she's a poet, right?
Yes. And she called me to do the cover of her book.
Wow.
And it was so monumental because, I mean, it means that it has had to mean that somebody is seeing and they're validating, and they think that if they call me to validate what they're also pursuing, then there is something there. And the product of that shoot, to this day, I look at those photos, they are unpublished, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. I really love what happened there. I think I love it when the things collide in such a way that feels bigger than me.
I love that. And do you often work with other creatives and collaborate with them?
Of course. I think my whole career is based on collaboration. I haven't been able to do anything by myself. Anything from curation to styling, everything happens with a team. And I actually do prefer to work with a team because then I am outside of myself. People who are there also show me things that I wouldn't have been able to see if I was a one-man team.
I love that. I love that. Who are some of those people, that support you in what you're doing and are there to hold you, when the dream gets a bit rough?
Firstly, myself in prayer, and then my late great-grandmother, and the very same people who are called for a project are my friends and community. I don't think there is a difference between those people because it went from project into friendship, and it continues to recycle itself, project, friend, colleague. And yeah, basically.
It's very interesting because also the story of how we met was quite, cool
Yes.
too. But yeah, I think it's very interesting seeing how people's journeys sort of end up working together and those things that like you said are both out of those relationships where sometimes it starts off as a friendship or just somebody supporting your work and then it turns into an amalgamation of your talents, your interests, your passions. Is there something that you're currently working on that you're keen to share with us a little bit?
Juicy. I recently had a shoot with one of Cape Town's renowned stylist, Tamron Seal,
Hey.
featuring Killer G. But
Okay.
the person who stole the show was Killer G's mom.
Oh.
And I cannot wait to share that with you
Oh
guys.
wow, I
Yes.
love that. So you're also like intergenerational storytelling, all of
Yes.
that. That's so
Yes.
powerful. I love that. I love that. I'm so, inspired by the work that you do. I love what you do. I'm curious to also see where you continue to grow and also just take this journey of yours. And I know that you also do a lot of philanthropy work and, you give back into the community. You're all about growing together. There's a lot that we can add to this conversation and we'll continue it as we learn more about the creative scene, but also the actual economic situation in Cape Town. And we'll find out more about this as we continue to delve into this conversation with Bonang, as we get into it with more people, and as we hear from you guys also in studio. Oh, I kind of manifested that quickly, hey, because you guys want to join in on this conversation so bad, but we'll hear what people have to say quickly after this ad break. We have a line of callers ready to tell us what they think. Let's hear from the creatives of Cape Town, what's on their minds and what is on their hearts. Let's hear what our first caller has to say.
So, I'm new to Cape Town. And then one day I went to the opera, and then I was sitting at the back of the show so I could see almost everyone who was there. And then the person I was sitting next to, a white person, goes ahead and says that, oh, there are quite a number of black people in this audience, which makes me think, so is the opera just meant for white people? Yet I've come across lots of opera singers in this place who are black, lots of artists, diverse artists from all areas who are participating in all areas of this city. Like, really, is this country diverse as they say it is? Or is it just some kind of illusion? Because I feel like it's some kind of illusion right now, at this point in my life.
Oh, listen, what more can I add? Let's hear what they have to say on the next line.
The most frustrating thing a family member has ever told me is probably that I'm not good or talented enough to be an artist. At the time when they told me this, it broke me because I slowly started to believe and enjoy the art that I was creating. But on the flip side of that coin, it motivated me to keep working on it and to remind myself that there was a reason I chose to become an artist in the first place.
I love that. Don't care what the naysayers have to say. Let's hear what the next person has for us.
Now, being a reviewer of theatre events in a city is so complicated. It's so expensive sometimes because, you have to come up with your own Uber budget and so on. The media company only pays for the writing that you submit, Sinjay. So you have to come up with your own Uber gazubas. So I thought, you know what, let me try and make this easy for myself. Let me contact friends who live in the area, ask them to swap a free ride for a free ticket kind of to the show kind of a situation. Then a good friend of mine actually agreed. He showed up on time. He got a free ticket out of the deal. We went to a liquor show and so on. But then he showed up on time. And then he was like, my petrol tank is empty, bruh. And he just looked at me with such expectation. I was supposed to now turn this bad situation into a better situation. How do you, did you think I was gonna now cop out of that and not go to the show? No. I had to take my loss. That was like the day before payday, bruh. Take my last 200 and a bitchy out of it and be like, okay, fine. Let's just get on with this. Make sure the tank has a little in it. Go straight to the artscape. Go see our show. That was like, I'm not an actor, but that night I was an actor because I had to pretend like I was okay with the whole thing. But what else was I supposed to do? How else was I supposed to show up for opening night so I can write a review about
Yeah.
it? You tell me, how was I supposed to do this?
Yo, Gunzi, my guys. The artists are going through it. But honestly, who's to blame? Let's find out after this ad break. Okay, it is that time of the show. My favorite bit, honestly, guys, because this is my show after all. And now we enter the judgment zone where I truly find out who is to blame because we've heard the calls. We hear that there is a lot going on in the creative Cape Town scene, but who's to blame? So, Bonang, I turn the questions to you now and I find out, whether or not you too are guilty in this mess. So, let's start off firstly by understanding how it is that you work. Tell me, you mentioned that you collaborate with a few artists. When you guys get together and you work, do you guys pay each other? Is it, a favor? Is it payment and exposure? What do you guys do?
Oh, honestly, I would say a bit of both. When I have the means to pay the people I work with, I do so, and I actually prefer that I'm able to pay them. And for passion projects, we do work freely, pro bono. And it's a give and take because for the times that I've been able to pay them, they've been able to pay me. For the times that I haven't been able to pay them, but I need to show up. Yeah, it's very much give and take. And you build those relationships on understanding that at all times I need a team. And I think it's more a matter of who is willing to be that person for you.
Okay.
Because we say the money's coming. I don't know when it's coming. It does come sometimes, but the work still needs to happen.
Yeah. So from my understanding, you guys are like basically exploiting each other.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
That's what you creatives do. Sharp, sharp, sharp. I get it now. I get it. I'm hearing, Okay, cool. So you speaking about a team. Tell me, who do you work with?
It changes depending on the project, but just to throw a few names: Mimi, Momo. I'm not even using their real names.
Yeah.
Instagram handles, sorry.
Yeah.
Tams, Liema, you. Gosh, the list goes on. It's endless.
So, okay, you take on the roles, different roles, but when you don't yourself like lead those teams, strategy, media, and don't.
I prefer not to, genuinely, because I don't necessarily believe in conventional ideas of hierarchy. I prefer to work with command on a very equal level where we're giving and taking from each other. And yeah, directions happen on a I'm here to learn basis.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is you're all about equality, power to the people, Mandela, all of that. Okay, cool. I get that you're a little bit weak, you're timid, you're shy. Got it. Honestly speaking, when you lie awake at night, looking through Instagram, seeing those LinkedIn profile pictures of your friends, their BMWs, their houses, how does it make you feel knowing that when you chose to go around with a camera taking pictures of your friends?
First word, envious. Second word, when the fuck is it gonna happen for me?
But who you mad at though? You did this.
I'm mad at the world, not people, the world, but just like this dystopia. Because
Why?
I'm like,
Why you mad though?
why would you put me here?
But like, why you mad?
I'm not mad, I'm envious because I want that for myself too. Yeah.
So who do you envy? If we could put a face to who you see as the problem.
Who do I envy or who do I see as the problem?
Let's start with the envy bit because in actually your heart carries a lot of it. Hey.
I envy Tracy Ellis Ross.
Okay.
Uh, I wish my career could turn out and have that sort of calm build up and momentum. Who do I see as the problem? The government.
Okay.
And its policies and laws and regulations and everything that's good on paper, like our constitution, but is not good in reality or practicality.
I hear you. I hear
Yeah.
you. The government, okay. But when what are you doing to help yourself? Like, do you have medical aid? Are you, like all of the important things? How old are you? Like, are you doing the adult things? What was going on?
Firstly, what am I doing to help
Yeah.
myself? Not dying. Not dying.
That's a real one. That's
Not dying.
I have to give it to you for that, yeah.
Taking every opportunity that avails itself to me that I feel like could potentially add the 2 coins to my next day.
Yeah.
Do I have medical aid? No. Do I wish to? I hope so, at least by the time I'm 30, because goddamn, the medical bills are really, really bad. And what was the other question?
I don't know. It's fine. Doesn't matter right now. We have more. I'm still
Okay.
gonna grill you because I need to get down to the roots of this because I'm not
Yes.
understanding. We heard the calls, right? You creatives are complaining. There's so much in the air. So it's like, okay, like, what are we doing here? So, okay, you gave a problem, ne? But what would be your solution to your own problems? Like you gave, rather a person to blame. But what's your solution to your problems? Because, okay, Ngoku, you're taking pictures. But, like, what more are you doing?
Well, when I'm not taking photos, I am a published writer and I also work as an activist in the food insecurity sector, particularly as a co-researcher.
Cute.
But I don't necessarily, or at least I haven't come to a point where I think all the compartments of my creative work are going to be what solves my immediate issues.
Okay.
I think I have thought a lot about entrepreneurship, but I've also thought a lot about being filled into a position. And I don't know which of the two would be better, but I do know that I haven't gotten to a point where I have either through entrepreneurship offered myself a long-term goal to really, really pursue and potentially cultivate the fruits thereof. But I think I would be more pleasant if I got an opportunity where I get to work on a long-term basis. And I'm not talking about 6 months and 1 year contracts. I'm talking
A lifetime.
no.
I just want to know we're on the same page.
I would really, really love to pursue a 5-year contract.
Okay.
I've done that through writing, but I want to do it as a form of amalgamation of all 3 sectors. Because in my previous contracts, I have been able to write and take part in photography.
Okay.
And I think if I can solidify that in terms of stability of, I know there's a check, so much more could come out of me, because when there isn't stability, I'm not able to really, really cultivate myself well.
I feel bad for you. Not having money is not cute, especially not in Cape Town, girl.
No,
Like,
it's not.
who's gonna buy you your kombucha? Amo, who's gonna pay for your Pilates? Like, come on. But like, okay, genuine question. On a scale from a Nasfis to generational wealth, where do you place financially?
Nowhere near the center.
Okay.
Nowhere near the center.
Okay.
I would say I'm more leaning to NASFAS than generational wealth. It would have to take a miracle from the gods and the lords and the ancestors to get to generational
yeah,
wealth.
I'm telling you, you just need to turn yourself a little white, a little light.
I can do a face paint.
A bleach. Okay. I've heard enough. I think I've heard enough right now, and it's time for me to make a verdict. Okay, we have gotten all the information. I've heard you. And
Yes.
Monang, it's time for me to tell you. Are you ready for this?
I suppose.
You are, in fact, not guilty.
Oh, tell me more.
The failure is a systematic one, not a personal one. So how does that make you feel to hear that?
No better than I felt. Quite indifferent.
I have to apologize for my bit there doing that. But you know, we have to understand truly what is happening here because this city is modeled, and especially when we see and we look at the marketing and all the art that comes from it, we see a lot of it is culturally relevant, which to me speaks that it is produced by a lot of the people of color in the city, but it clearly doesn't, you know, the money doesn't flow back to them. So
Yes.
how does that make you feel, and how do you think we can go about fixing that?
I mean, firstly, I am a product of money not flowing to me, even though I'm marketed elsewhere. And my solution, I don't even know if I have a solution. I think I've been hitting an obstacle so long in trying to figure out a solution. Because I do know that there is a level of policy making or regulatory bodies when they come into space. Because I think we do lack that in our art economy in South Africa. We don't have regulatory bodies that take a stand for us. Not unions. I don't know if I subscribe to unions because I'm not a 90s kid, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't have to fight for my right to be here. I was kind of just born into freedom, you know. So I don't know if trade unions would work, but I think a model that almost reflects being very stern on that these people deserve a certain standard of living would be at least our first step towards getting some kind of solution in the long term.
So not BEE, but a model that is just an upgrade, like let's say on
Yes.
those principles, and that also takes into account, I think, creators because the bit is right that Cape Town is also so expensive to live in. A lot of the people who can afford to actually live here are people who have jobs that are more sustainable and have like, you know, direct paychecks and all of those kinds of things. People maybe in the STEM fields, but artists aren't that. So we definitely do see the need for, you know, that kind of facilitation and that kind of
Yes.
involvement from the government for sure. With your work also, I love what you're doing. You know, you shared that you also do philanthropy and like work where you go into the community and you're also upskilling the youth. So I think that is also very important because we don't have a lot of spaces, especially in black and brown communities, that foster and nurture creative talents. So to have people like you, you know, even though you yourself are disadvantaged, to have you going back and still giving with the little that you have, it is so important and amazing to see. And I hope that you teach, you know, the white creatives of Cape Town who have so much to give but don't give us nothing at all. But yeah, that is neither here nor there because we're not talking just about the luxury penthouses in Camps Bay. We're not just talking about, you know, the studios, the rentals, all of that. There is so much more to the problem and it is so deep. So I'm glad to share with you that it is not a personal failure, it's a systemic one. Cape Town profits off of the culture of black and brown people, and we are absolutely tired of it. Thank you so much for coming to this episode and joining us on Inferno. We have learned so much about you, and we will find out more on the next episode of what is happening here in Cape Town. Thank you so much.